Hello everybody, here we go. Craft along for December. Can you believe it? Where did the year go? Seriously. How are we all? I am warming up this afternoon. It's a nice warm afternoon here on the Central Coast. It hasn't stormed yet today, which is great. We have a little pussycat who is terrified of storms, and so every time there's a storm I have to wrap him up in a blanket like a burrito. I've had this conversation I think with a few of you before, but it actually is very amusing. He's really funny. He will stay in the burrito position for hours. Okay, if anyone has anything new or exciting to tell me, now's your chance. I see we've got a few familiar faces and some new ones too. Hi Lou. Hello Shirley, how are you going? You're on charge. Okay, understand totally. And Margaret said she'd be back in 2 and nearly 3 hours ago. So, oh, you're back again, Margaret. Hello. Actually, we have more than one Margaret. We have Margaret Gordon and Margaret Griffith. I can't even say Margaret G. You're both Margaret G's. Hello, Chris. How are you going? We did have a great Christmas. Thank you for asking. Hello, Nicole. It must be early over in your neck of the woods. Well, I guess it's not really, is it? Gosh, it's already 2 o'clock. So what? It's 11 over there. Ooh, Pearl Beach, Denise. So you are you having a little break down there, or are you having lunch? How nice. Hello, Holly in Wyoming. That's a good name. I know where you are straight away, and I'm assuming that's Wyoming in the US. Believe it or not, the suburb next to where I live is called Wyoming, not the same one as the state in the US. Hello, Marie. Thank you for your very excellent feedback this morning. You've given me some things to think about. That's awesome. Hi, Sue. NC. That is, just wondering where that is. Is that someone like Northern Carolina or somewhere like that? Well, exactly. I know. Well, I would, although on these very hot days, I don't know that staying wrapped up in a cozy blanket is a good idea. But he's obviously more scared than he is hot. 11, yes. Just for the day. Lovely. That's nice, Denise. It's such a beautiful spot, Pearl Beach. I could go there every day. I love it. Such a great place. Hello, Leslie. How are you? All right. Janine, hello. Marsha, hi. We got people from everywhere. Okay. So we have people from Texas, from North Carolina. Thank you for that. And Carol from Canada. We have people from everywhere. Hi, Jenny. How are you on the South Coast today? Hope you're enjoying your Christmas to New Year's break. Congratulations, Sharon. You were the winner of my giveaway on my VIP group because you took a photo of yourself with the new catalogue and posted it. So thank you for that. I hope some other people might do that too, because it's kind of fun to see everybody with their new catalogues. All right, I'm going to get started. I know that we could chat all day, but that's not a good idea, right? So let's go. Let me show you what we're going to be making today and how it's all going to work. And I have some fun things to show you. Today we're doing trifold cards. And trifold cards are one of my favorite types of cards. I think when I first started card making, they were one of the very first cards I actually made was a trifold card. And it's similar to one of the alternate creations that I'll have for you today. So let's get into it. If I've missed your name, I am so sorry. But hopefully I'll get to chat to you as I'm going through. All right, I'm going to switch over to the desk view. And here we go. This is going to be our project today. It's a simple project, a simple trifold, okay, what I would call a basic trifold, and it opens out like this, okay, and for this I have used the Countryside In paper and also the Cheerful Daisies dies and the Countryside In DSP. So let's have a quick look at that. So that is in this catalogue here. And I'll just quickly go to these. So this is the Countryside In paper. It's 12 by 12 paper, absolutely beautiful, and it has been super popular. Okay. Hello. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, that's right. You were going down to Tassie for a holiday. I remember. That's awesome. Yeah, I know what you mean. Nicole, sometimes the effort of getting there is almost too much, isn't it? And Jen is on the Fraser Coast up in Queensland. So it's beautiful up there as well. People are from everywhere. All right, I see that we have this gorgeous DSP, and that's what we're going to be using. And I have used a few different pieces. Now, for those of you who got the supplies to make the card, you'll find them all in this little package that went out. Should have got to you before now. Okay, there's some smaller pieces in a bag just to keep them all together so we don't lose anything. And then the main pieces of the card are separate. Okay, so this is the basic white piece. I've used basic white thick cardstock, and I have measured this to be 14.8 wide, like so, or high. And this piece here is one whole sheet of A4 cardstock. Okay, so that means it measures A4 size, which is 29.7 centimeters long. If you are doing, it's one of my favorites too, absolutely. If I want to just mention that if you are in the US or Canada and you prefer imperial measurements, I will have imperial measurements for anyone who's purchasing the additional PDFs that I have as part of this CraftAlong event. I'll have all the imperial measurements in there for you as well. But just so you know, I'll tell you right here that if it's a 12 by 12 sheet, and so it's a full 12 inches long, I feel that the 11-inch cardstock piece is not quite long enough. I really feel that it's better if you have the full 12 by 12. So you would cut it at your normal 5.5 inch height, and then use the full width of your 12 by 12 paper, so 5.5 by 12. Okay, then you're going to score it on the 4-inch and 8-inch marks, which means you've got three 4-inch segments, okay, between the score lines. In Australia, because we're working with a 29.7 centimeter cardstock piece, we're going to do our score lines at 9.9 centimeters and 19.8. So that means it's these sections are each 9.9 centimeters wide. Okay, that's probably pretty much with all the trifold cards I've done, I've tried to stick largely with those measurements to take full advantage of the size paper that we have. Okay, so if you're doing this in metric, your pieces, your 3 segments are going to be 9.9 centimeters wide each. It's a little bit short of 10 centimeters, because if our cardstock was 30 centimeters long, then we would be able to go with 10 centimeter widths. Okay, but because it's 29.7, we have 9.9. I hope that makes some sense. That's probably the most complicated we're going to get today. All right, now as well as this beautiful countryside in paper, I've also used, back over here, let me just quickly get to it. Of course, I should have practiced the easy way to do it, the page numbers before I started. So this Fresh as a Daisy set here, I've used the Cheerful Daisies stamp set, and it's on page 110 and 111 according to this. All right, so I've used this stamp set for my greeting on the front. Let's just show you that. So this is wishing you the brightest birthday, but you could use whatever sentiment you have. Okay, you don't have to use this one, just use whatever you have. And then these pieces here, these countryside corner pieces, are the matching dies to the paper, to the beautiful blue paper. So Countryside Corners is on page 63. So let's just go back to that. And this stamp set, I didn't use the stamp set. I could have, but I chose not to. But I did use the Countryside Corners dies. Okay, these little guys here. There's actually, how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dies in this set. Okay, and I've used the second to largest one to cut these shapes. Okay, so I've actually got them here. Just double check it is the second to largest one, that I've told you the right thing. So let me just pull them out. I'm pretty sure it's that second to largest is the one that I've used to cut this. Now you could, if you wanted to, go up and use the largest one. Just means you won't see as much of your piece of paper behind here. And I thought this one was I thought that this one was the better size. Then I used this small banner is what I've used to cut my my white piece here for my sentiment. Okay, so I stuck with these, and then I used a smaller, this one here. Okay, you can see I've stamped over the edges of this with a stamp from the Cheerful Daisy set. This one is the next size down from this one. So this is the one I used to cut those main pieces, and then this one is the next size down. All right, and I needed to do that because I wanted to use this one as a pocket, and I put this one in the pocket. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, let's put those away. If anyone has any questions as we're going through, need to get married again to a sugar daddy to support your SU habit. I know. It's a bit like that. Thankfully, I have managed to be able to support my SU habit because I do this as a business, and I've been doing it for 17 years. So, you know, that's a long time. So here's my piece. I want this piece here to be at the back. So the pieces that have been scored, I've already folded it for you, but you've got one up and one down. Can you see that? So that you have, it's like a Z fold there at this point. Hey Joan, how are you? Nice to see you. All right, so these are going to end up on here. So I've got 3 Misty Moonlight pieces. Like I said, all the measurements will be in the accompanying PDF for you. Here we go. This one, and this one. I can tell you that these are 14.3 long and 9.4 wide. So a little bit less long than it would normally be because these are less wide panels than a normal card. All right, so those pieces are all going to go like that. So what I did first, I'm going to come in. I've got a sponge dauber. I've got myself, you could either use Misty Moonlight or Night of Navy ink. I've got my Misty Moonlight here. The Night of Navy is just a bit darker. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start by inking around. Oh, this is an older dauber, and I think it's going to be coming apart a little bit, but that's okay. Can you see all the little bits of, whoops, I need to buy some new daubers. So I'm putting this over here and just going around. This will be the last time I use this dauber. I picked one that I thought was okay, but clearly not. So daubers don't last forever. You know, they're made from rubber and such. So, you know, they're going to perish over time. Let me grab another one out and see if I can grab one that's not going to come apart on me. Let's see about this one. This one might be better. Let's try that. Yeah, that's better. And so I'm just going to ink around these just to give them a bit more of a finished look. Okay, that's the thing when you do sponging around the edge of your cardstock, it makes it look more finished. And I always think that that's a good thing, right? Yes, that's true. Your sizing from the US well, from imperial, shall I say, from imperial to metric is definitely different. And the main reason is not, you know, it would be easy if we could just convert from centimeters to metric. And I think a lot of people think you can, but actually you can't because the cardstock size of A4 is different to US letter. They're different size cardstocks. So in the US, they have shorter and fatter cards. Okay, ours are longer and thinner, which doesn't seem fair, really, does it? But that's the reason why we can't just translate straight from one to the other, and why it's also the reason that the PDF document that I do with all the measurements takes me so long to do, because it's not just a straight conversion. It's a long, complicated process. So I will go through and show you all the alternate projects today that we have in addition to this particular project. Now I've gone around and done that. I'm going to throw that other sponge dauber in the bin, the one I don't want anymore. All right, let me just put the lid back on my piece. Now I've done these 3 pieces. They've got a little bit of ink around them, and they just look so much better. They look like they're finished. Much nicer. All right, so I'm actually going to go ahead now. I've got those on, and I'm going to glue these straight in. All right, so I mean, I could decorate them first and then glue them in, but I'm just going to start and glue them in. You can use whatever glue you like. If Tombo's your jam, then that could be good for you. You could use seal if you like seal, or you could use tape. Tape's the one I don't use very often. I know some people really like it. Sometimes I use it when I use it in a couple of different occasions. I use tape when I'm scrapbooking to glue photos down. And I also use tape when I'm trying to do like a 3D item or something where I need to get a really straight line with my glue. Sometimes tape is good for that. So I'm going to put this one on first. This will be the front. And then I'm going to do the next two. So I'm going to have one here and one here. Okay. So let's glue those in. How many, if anyone, hands up if anyone is making the project with me as we go today. I can go slower or faster if you need me to. So if you want me to slow down, let me know and I will do so. Because I don't want to leave anyone behind or make anyone feel like they're lost. Ah, there you go, Jen. See, that's how it works. If you spend in November, you got the December craft along. All the supplies to get it. Now, this is only, of course, if you're purchasing from me, because different demonstrators do different things. But this is just something that I offer. If you purchase with me and you purchase over $60 the previous month, then the following month you get the supplies to make the craft along project. And so those of you, so by the time it gets to you, sometimes, like you said, sometimes people forget that they ordered enough the previous month, and it's like a nice surprise, isn't it? All right, so I am going to pop this here. Let's do that. All right, so I've put them in the center, so there's a little bit of a border all the way around each one, and the basic bones of the card is done. Okay, so now we get to decorate it. So let's have a little look at the pieces I have given you. I cut for everybody 3 pieces that are this size. Then this is the smaller one. See that? So this smaller one is the one that we can put in a pocket. These two are the same. Now this one is the same size, and all I did was I cut it in half at the halfway mark. Okay, can you see it's simply the same as the other two, but I cut it in half. And so that one is going to be the one we're going to use for a pocket. So let's work on the first two. Up to you which one. You can have this one or that one. Some of you may have little foxes on your piece, like mine. Some of you may have birds, okay, because it just depends. So this one here has birds. You see that? Little birdies. But some have foxes and some have birds. So this is going to end up in the center here, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals. So let's do the front first. All right, so let's grab my dimensionals out, and I'm going to turn this over. Well, this is the normal time I do craft along, Janine. I always do it at 2 p.m. Usually, though, it's a Saturday. But this week, that wasn't going to work out. Although, as it's turned out, I could have done it. But when I first was deciding what to do, it's my husband's birthday on Friday, and we're going out in Sydney to see a show on Friday night. So I wasn't sure whether we were going to stay down there and have a night in Sydney and maybe come back on Saturday. So I thought I'd better not make craft along for Saturday. And then as it's turned out, we're not staying. We're coming home. So I could have done it on Saturday. But I made it today instead. And normally if it's not a Saturday, I make it a Wednesday. But yesterday I had a dentist appointment, so I couldn't make it yesterday either. I'll tell you what, though, I'd much rather be making cards with you than going to the dentist. It is really nice, isn't it? It's beautiful, Jamie. I really like it. So you can choose the other side if you prefer. If you don't want little foxes, that's what you got. You could have little flowers. Can you see the little flowers? They're super cute as well. All right. And what was on the back of that one? I didn't even see. Oh, that side was the, I know. I've got another one here. So the back of the the stripes, the back of that one is like this is a pattern, and actually we have an embossing folder that matches this pattern perfectly, and you can use the embossing pattern to emboss this, or you can use the embossing folder to emboss this design, so it makes like these flowers and the leaves and everything raised. Really, really cool that it matches that. But I'm not doing that today, but you can do that. All right, so let's continue with the front of this one. Now, if we pull this out, you'll notice there's quite a bit in here. All right, there's some little bling. I'll leave those inside so I don't lose them. I've given everyone iridescent rhinestones because I had plenty of those, but you might notice on the original of mine, I've got lemon lolly dots. All right, so the lemon lolly dots are really nice, but let me see, I went and got a pack of those out just before we started and put them somewhere. But anyway, I'm not using those today, anywho, but just wanted to let you guys know that you've all got the iridescent rhinestones because, like I said, I had plenty. And then, of course, I've ordered more lemon lolly dots since then, but that's okay. All right, I have this daisies piece, and there are 2 of these in your pack. Now, up to you. You can leave the little dots in the middle in if you want to. I think it's probably a good idea for the dots in the middle because that's a great place to hide dimensionals, okay? And that's going to be behind. So here you might notice I have pushed them out. So if you want to, you can. This one they're pushed out. That one they're not. There is a dimensional behind there, and it's actually shiny. I can see the shiny back of the dimensional, but it's not sticky. So up to you if you want to push the dots out or not. Okay, totally your choice. However, I did think when I got my take your pick tool, I did like these ones pushed out. So I'm going to push those out. And I'm going to use one of these pieces on the outside of my card, and then I'm going to use the other big piece on the inside. All right, so we'll put this one aside for a moment and we'll just work on the one for now. So let's push those out. All right, so that's looking good. I've left my dots in, but I've pushed out those other little pieces. I hope you can see that okay. All right, so this is going to end up, we've got also some of these. So these are all from the Cheerful Daisies dies, and you'll notice that there are 2 each of these flowers and then 2 each of the big pieces together. There's 1 banner, which is what we're going to stamp our greeting on. Okay, so I've got like a set. This, I'm not going to cut these up. All right, I'm going to keep them together. You might, if anybody has one where any of the flowers have separated, okay, if that happens, use those ones on the inside. Use the one that's completely intact on the outside, the front. Okay, so this here is going to end up on here. And it kind of gives our daisy a it gives it a more dimensional look. Okay, and I'm just going to move these around so they are going to look kind of how they will when they're done. You could just put those straight on top of them if you like. But you might notice on mine, I've coloured my centres yellow. You could use Daffodil Delight or Lemon Lolly or any yellow you like or any other colour you want really. But I'm going to take these off because I need to colour the centres first. So I've got myself an aqua painter and I brought in some Lemon Lolly ink. Like I said, you don't have to, you can use any yellow, okay? The ribbon that is in this is also Lemon Lolly, which is the reason I chose to go with Lemon Lolly ink, but that's totally your choice. If you're wondering where the supply list for this, the recommended supplies list for this card is actually on my blog. So I'll talk about that at the end. Anytime you're wondering what supplies are going to be used, I put that up usually around the same time that I send out the packs. So it's always up there well and truly before the class goes live. All right, so this is my Lemon Lolly. I've just popped a block, put it straight into my ink, and now I can pick up the ink with a water painter. All right, I'm going to squeeze a tiny, tiny bit of water through, and I'm going to paint the middle of my flowers. You don't need to be particularly careful. What's good about this is that it's going to cover a multitude of sins, really. It's very forgiving. I'm just going to colour the top of this one. I'm just going to colour those ones just like that. Make it a little bit more yellow. All right, how's that looking? Has everyone got their flowers coloured? You could also, if you don't want to use an aqua painter, you could use a sponge dauber to colour the flower centres. So it's pretty simple. Now we can stick these on. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to line them up so you can see the shorter, fatter petals match up with the ones down the bottom. And how I'm going to attach this, you could use glue dots, or I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow because that's easy. So just a little dot here and there. Doesn't have to be on every petal. We're just going to have enough to hold it in place. All right, just a few. I've got 5 dots on there. Am I going too fast? Does anyone need me to slow down? Hi then. Oh, hi Suzanne. Yeah, the time difference gets me as well. I'm not very good at working with time differences. It always trips me up. Yes. Thank you, Janine. My first dentist appointment went so badly, I thought seriously about maybe getting dentures and never going back to the dentist ever again. Yes. And then 2 weeks ago, I had to go back, and the receptionist had actually recommended to me that I that I go see a different dentist at their surgery because she saw what happened and she was horrified and decided that a different dentist would suit me better. So I'm popping this one on now over the top of here. It creates a really nice layered look. Can you see how nice these look? And they're also sort of more substantial when you put that second layer on. They look good, don't they? So yeah, much better. And so I have a new dentist who, you know, he's kind of like my new best friend. He's very gentle and very nice and explains everything to me before he does it, and it didn't scare me. He made me feel a lot more at home, and I've had the first of 2 deep cleans, getting gum treatment. I've got to have 2 more. They're doing 1/4 of my mouth at a time under anesthetic, so that's fun, isn't it? And he even said to me yesterday, he said, I hate myself. He said, I should be giving people, you know, nice Christmas presents, and instead I'm putting needles in their gums, and I'm so sorry. All right, so this one is ready to go. It's going to go down here. Okay, so this is going to kind of, you're going to have it so that these bits are completely on. So you kind of, if you have it like this, they're over the edge. So my suggestion is you move it up so it is completely on, and it's going to look kind of like this. All right, looks good. So what we can do is pop a dimensional behind each one of these flowers. So I'm going to put one here in the center of each, one here, and this one I could probably squeeze a big dimensional, but I think what might be better is that I use mini dimensional and pop that here. We're not going to put these leaves, not going to put anything behind them. They're just going to, as you can see here, they're just flapping, but that's okay. They look completely fine. So I'm going to have this on this angle like that. So let me take the backs off these. You're about to see a new dentist too, Nairi. Where are you heading to? Up your way, I'm assuming. All right, so this is how this is looking now. All right, so it's held in place. Looks really good. If you wanted to, you could pop this down, but I kind of like it as it is, and I don't want to put a dimensional behind it because I think you'll see it. So yeah, I don't mind that, but if you wanted to, you certainly could do something to, you know, pop that into place with maybe a glue dot or something like that. All right, now I have my my greeting banner, and I'm using from the Cheerful Daisies set, I'm using this Wishing You the Brightest Birthday, but you can use any stamp you like. Okay, I'm going to use, you can use either Misty Moonlight or Night of Navy ink for this. Which will I use? I might go Night of Navy. It's just that little bit darker, and so let's go in here with this. Wishing you the brightest birthday. Now I find it easier to get over the top when I'm stamping onto a small sentiment like this. I want to get over it, so you'll hear my voice change a little bit because I'm actually in a different position. And I'm just going to come down here and stamp this so it's straight on my little tag. There you go. Looks good, doesn't it? All right. Now this is also going to go on dimensionals. So we're going to pop a couple behind that. One here and one here. Hi there, Vicky. All the way from Arizona. Hello. I'm sure I've missed some comments. I'm so sorry if I have. Oh, of course, daylight saving messes you up too, Jen. Of course. Did I miss any other? Oh, there you go. That's nice. Laying by the pool. Oh, my goodness. Right, so I'm going to have this just above my little flowers, and I'm having it so it goes a little bit over the edge. Can you see that? I popped it so it goes over the edge of this piece. I'm just thinking that might be ever so slightly crooked, so I'm going to move it. All right, looks good. Liking that. All right, the last thing, I've given everyone about 25 centimeters, which should be enough to tie a bow. If you don't like tying a bow, just tie a knot, okay? But I find if I tie a small bow, so when you do this, you want to pull out your loops as you pull tight and keep pulling out your loops. So we're making the bow smaller and smaller, because if you have a bow that's too big, it's going to get lost, or it's going to shall we say, it's going to overwhelm the card. All right, so I only want a little one. Obviously I need shorter tags, so I'm going to have this on here. I'm going to attach it first with my glue dot, and then I will cut off the tails as far as I need them. So let me pop this on my, this is how you use your glue dots for anyone who doesn't know. You put whatever it is you want to stick onto a glue dot, and it's now sitting on the roll, okay? Push it really firmly with your thumb, and then lift the whole thing off, and the glue dot will come as well. So now we're ready to have this on one side. All right. Let me cut these tails off at a reasonable length. I'm going on an angle because then my ribbon is less likely to fray. And let's have that just like that. It's looking very pretty. It does need some bling. So we said our bling was, where was it? Here it is, in our little bag. And I'm using, like I said, iridescent rhinestones today. If you want to change and do a different coloured bling, just bear in mind that there is silver edging to this lemon lolly ribbon. It has a very fine silver edge, so maybe bear that in mind, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, gold and silver can work together. You just might decide that you want to have them not too close together, perhaps. Totally up to you. So I've gone, there's 3 sizes in the iridescent rhinestones: large, medium, and small, and I've made like a little triangle there with them, and the front is done, okay, except for one thing. I'm going to add something that everyone probably knows what I'm going to add, because it's one of my favorite things to add. Guess what? Let me see. I've got some Wink Stella here. Let's add some Wink Stella, because we love it, in the middle of our daisies and make them all sparkly, because you know, you can't really go wrong with sparkly daisies, can you? Sparkly flower centers. I'm going to just move my ribbon and paint that so I can see it's sparkly. You might not be able to, but it looks really good. It's sort of hard to see in the light. Yeah, you can't quite see it, but anyway, just trust me, it's there. All right, so it's looking good. What do you think? Do we like it so far? All right, let's open up and let's do the middle bits. Okay, so for this bit I've used the fox paper, but you can use the other side if you prefer, and one of the flowers. Okay, so we're going to do what we did before, except this time, well, let's glue this piece in first. So I'm going to have the little foxes, or you might have birds. All right, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. So let's pop this here. And here. And I'm just going to take the backs off those, and I'm going to position this also right in the center of this panel. So you just sort of come up here, and you want to have it the same distance from each side and as close as you can top and bottom as well. So there you go, that's sitting nicely. We've got little foxes on there. You could just leave it like that. I mean, it's really pretty. You don't really have to add anything else. But of course, I decided to do that. So I have got myself my paper snips. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to cut this piece off here. Actually, I don't know if I will or not, but we'll come back to that. But I'm going to separate this flower from this one and this one from this one. So I'm going to cut this one off, and I'm going to come in here, and we're just cutting through those little joins. So now I have this, okay, and guess what we're going to do? We're going to color the center of the flower yellow again. So let me come back in here. I'm going to pick up a little bit more ink with my block. And I'm going to use squeeze some water through, but not too much, and I'm going to color the center of my daisy. Now I see that I have a little bit of popping out to do on this side as well. There's one there and one there. But I'm going to leave the ones in the middle pretty much intact. This one though is going to go over the top like before. Okay, so I want to stick a little bit of glue on here, like I did before. Probably about 5 is about right. Little bits of Tombow. Need to move it up, sorry. I've decided to zoom out a little bit today so that I wouldn't be doing stuff off camera, because I've been finding that that's a problem with my with my glass mat. I'm still getting used to where the center is that I need to work with. So there we go. What do we think? Do we like that? So I'm going to pop this. Now I have a feeling, I have a feeling that I actually did chop the leaves off and then slid them back in underneath, but I think I'll just leave them where they are. Let's see. Not really sure about that. So it's going to go right about here. Okay, so let's pop a dimensional behind that. And I might use a mini dimensional up here, just to give it a bit more support here and here. So let's go with that, and that's going to go. I know it's going to hide that fox, but you know, different people have different parts of the paper, so hopefully you won't be hiding all your foxes, because that's how that looks. And then we get to do the pocket piece. So this is the half piece, so it's a full piece that I've just chopped in half with my trimmer. Okay, it's going to go down here at the bottom, but instead of gluing it down, I want to create a pocket. All right, so first of all, you've got a little bit of glimmer paper that I've given you. This is actually adhesive glimmer paper, so there is actually a piece to pull off. If you run your finger over the back until the backing starts to separate, I know that probably sounds easier than done, but you get used to it, and then the back does peel off. This piece is going to go straight across from one side to the other to create a little bit of a bit of a detail there on the edge of the pocket. You're going to turn it over and cut off any overhang. There we go, just like that. All right, now I want to get some dimensionals behind here. So I'm going to have one at the bottom. I'm going to have, actually, I'm thinking I might need to use the mini dimensionals. Yes, that is correct. If you have them, please use mini dimensionals on the side pieces. That'll give you a little bit more room for this pocket, because if you put big dimensionals on the side, your pocket won't go in. Okay, so use minis, and let's get this right on the edge, nice and close. All right, I'm gonna So I'm going to do 2 there and 1 down the bottom, and then 2 here. The other thing I did is I put it as close, this straight edge of the hexagon, put that as close to this edge as you can without it popping out. So I did 2 on this side and then an extra 1 down the bottom here. Doesn't matter about this big one because that's going to stop your pocket from falling. Your piece, when it's in here, is going to go in, but it's not going to go any farther than this. Okay, that's going to stop it from going all the way through. I'm just going to move that piece ever so slightly. All right, so we'll take the backs off that. Oh, I didn't see your comment, Nicole. You can text it to me later if you really want to. I missed that. I was too busy crafting, too busy creating stuff. All right, now that one's a little bit too close to the corner. I can see it poking out, so I'm going to move it. There we go, that's better. And then this one, you just want them to all be about the same height from the bottom and then centered in the middle there so that, there we go. Got a helicopter flying over. That always worries me whenever I see a helicopter or hear a helicopter going by. This piece now is going to go in here. Can you see that? All right, so it fits in really well. And then we've still got these guys to put. So these 2 are the ones that we cut off from the group of 3. Okay, so on here I did 2. I just did those 2 and put them next to each other like so. So you don't actually have to cut them off if you don't want to. But you might notice I've got a couple of funny little rough edges here where I cut it off from the other flower. So I'm going to go back and cut those off. I hope you can see this. Just like that. Up to you if you want to leave them joined together or if you want to have them separate. Completely fine. All right, so let's do our little bit of yellow centers. Should know what we're doing by now. This is you know the drill, right? All right, and then we're going to pop these on top with a little bit of Tombow like we did before. Oh, got a dimensional back, stuck to my Tombow. I love these Cheerful Daisies dies. Something I learned recently that you or maybe don't know, that the Cheerful Daisies dies have been the most popular stamp set out of the new annual catalogue here in Australia anyway. I don't know if that's the same elsewhere, but in Australia this Cheerful Daisy set has been the most popular stamp set out of the annual catalogue. And I'm not surprised really, because it's beautiful. Right, and then this one, same thing goes on top of here. Let's just get a little bit of glue there and pop that one on here. And then we're going to turn that over and we're going to add a dimensional in the middle of the larger daisy. And I'm going to use a mini dimensional at the top of the smaller one. And I'll take the backs off those. And I'm going to pop them here. Okay, so it's almost done. We're almost there. This piece here is the piece that goes in here. If you like it just like that, we can put that in there. You can use that to write on your greeting if you want to, or if you don't want to do that, you could also, in this pocket, you could put tickets for something or a gift card or something else, okay, and then write on the back of the card. That's totally up to you, but that pocket is there for whatever purpose you think would work. I am going to decorate my little piece here that I'm going to use to write on. And in the Cheerful Daisies set, you might notice there's this little like conglomerate of daisies here. So let me pop that out. Pop this on here. And I'm going to use my Misty Moonlight ink but you can use Night of Navy if you want to. I know. That's so true. Daisies do make everyone happy. I agree. All right, so I'm going to pop this on here, and then without re-inking, I'm going to do that again so that we end up with different coloured daisies. And I'm just going to have them going across the bottom here, just like that. So it's kind of decorating the bottom of my little tag. If you wanted to, I didn't, but you could go to the extra step of putting a hole in and some ribbon that that you could pull the tag out with if you wanted to. That would be an extra step, but that's certainly something that you could do. All right, I think we're done. How do we go? How's everybody going? Did anyone make the card? I would love to know. Everyone's talking about where they came from. I love that. Yes, foxes were introduced here, Janine. It was one of many things that they, in their wisdom, brought to Australia. I think they brought them for, the original colonists to hunt. But of course, they got loose and caused havoc in the Australian bush. Like most introduced species, we've got a very bad relationship with species that have been introduced over the years. So I'm just going to wipe up and clean up a little bit with my cloth. All right. How did we go? Did anyone make the card? Does anyone... You're halfway. You're enjoying it. Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm really happy when I know someone enjoys making the project. That's awesome. All right. So this is how it's going to look. Okay. I will obviously have pictures going up, but I want to show the other projects that are part of this month's Craft Along. All right. So how do you get this? All right. Obviously, everyone can watch this free entertainment, I guess we'll call it. Okay, I'm going to show you the other projects that I have created as part of this class. All right, and the reason that I do this is because in addition to the Craft Along project, if you are placing orders with me over $60, you also get all of these other tutorials. They are video tutorials currently. I have given some thought to maybe changing that to written tutorials. I asked on my VIP group today, and then some people said they want both. I can't do both, guys. I'm so sorry, because it takes me about 2 days now to do all the videos and the editing and the uploading and all that stuff. Okay, it's really time consuming, and I'm not complaining because I love doing it, but doing written tutorials on top of that would be really difficult. Okay, it would be very time consuming unless I maybe changed it and started doing less projects. So I'm doing 4 additional projects on top of the one that you just saw. Okay, so altogether you get 5, and it comes with a PDF with all the measurements for all 5 projects, and also has full video instructions. Okay, so my thinking is either I continue as I am right now and we stick with the videos, or if you guys would like written instructions instead, maybe I could do that. If you seriously want both, it just means I would have to I don't want to raise my prices. So what I would rather do is do less projects if I'm going to do both. So I'm thinking about a number of things. If you want to be part of that conversation over on my VIP group, head over there. Here's my VIP group. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see. Where are we? Here it is. All right. It's Linda Dolke's private Stampin' VIP group. It is only available to Australian customers or Australian residents. And the reason why is because I talk to people about their catalogues I'm sending out and things I'm offering to people who order. And only people who are in Australia can order what I have. So, so that is the reason why. Okay, so currently I'm just offering this to Australian customers. However, if you are overseas and would like access to all these other tutorials, you can purchase them. They will be on my blog. Now, I have actually recorded all the videos for this. I have edited all the videos, and I have uploaded all but one, okay, to YouTube. So they're not available on there yet. They are unlisted and only available when you either place an order the previous month, or you're a part of my team, or you purchase the tutorials. Okay, they're the 3 ways to get them. All right, so I'm going to pop these up and pull them out and show you exactly what the other projects are. Now, the big surprise this month is that I've used pretty much nearly all new products for all of these. All right, so let me take the banner down. Sorry. All right, so I thought this would be a fun thing to do, given that we have a brand new catalogue coming out next month. I've actually done a whole bunch of new catalogue product samples with these. So the first one is this one here. Okay, you can see I've done two. So one was my sample card and one was the one that I created in the video. So it's actually this one in the video, but they're almost identical. And when you open these up, these are all trifold cards. Okay, somewhere here to write. Then we have our greeting, and on the outside we have the beautiful lavender pieces. So this is a new set called Perennial Lavender. It's coming out on the 4th of January, but I thought you guys would like to see it in some projects now. Okay, super, super fun. The gold foil floral with a brush of colour. Have I? I don't know what you mean, Nicole. So there we go. This paper is divine. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Is the painted lavender or perennial lavender. Yeah, perennial lavender paper. Then there's this one. Now this little card here, this is the one I actually did in the video. See, he's got a happy face. He's got little smiling eyes. And this one, he's happy, but he's not as happy as this one. Okay, so happy bees. And this is another trifold card. Okay, very easy little design. And this was actually one of the very first card designs I ever worked with when I was in the early days of being a demonstrator and trying to work it all out. And I found this design on, I might have been Split Coast Stampers or somewhere like that back in the day. And this is such an easy but fun trifold. Okay, so it's a little square trifold card. I have used the Be Mine, or is it Be Mine Valentine? I think it's the stamp. The set is called Be Mine, the actual DSP and the suite, and it's using this Be My Valentine stamp set. Super cute. Isn't that gorgeous? And it has a matching punch, and that's what I've used. I've used the punch to punch out the bee. Here's so cute. I know, really cute daisies. The paper is beautiful. You will see me use this one quite a bit because this is one of the first sets that I got from the new catalogue. Love it. And then that was the first two, and then there's this one. That is, I've done it as a Mother's Day card, but you could obviously put any sentiment you like there. I've used a set called Stippled Rose. Okay, so Stippled Rose is a new stamp set that's coming on the 4th. And let me just see. Do I have it here? Okay, this is the stamp set. Beautiful, and there are matching dies. So it is a bundle with stamps and dies. You can buy them separate or you can buy them as a bundle and save 10%. Okay, but this paper that is in the background is the matching DSP that goes with this Stippled Roses set, and it is a free celebration gift with purchase. So if you're spending $90, which if I'm not mistaken is what the Stippled Roses bundle costs, you can get the matching paper for free. Okay, so that is a really cool thing that's coming. I have done this card. This is called a Cascade Trifold card, and you can see why. It stands up like a Z fold. Super easy to do. But I have left a piece here in the middle to write on because I think that makes the most logical choice. This piece we can see from the front. This piece here also decorates the front. But all these pieces are from the soft, I think it's softly stippled 12 by 12 celebration paper. So that's a really cool one. I've also used some of this gorgeous, this ribbon is to die for, guys. Let me find it. Here it is. Oh my goodness. I love this stuff. I can't wait to play with it more. Look how nice. Let me bring it up close. Is it focused or is it blurry? No, it's blurry. That's better. But this is also a free celebration item. So this is another gift with purchase. Super, super nice. And just having a look. There is 9.1 meters or 10 yards of ribbon on a roll. Okay. But it's free with a $90 order anytime from the 4th of January. Super cute. And then this is the last one. Okay, now I use some specialty envelopes, cards and envelopes. Now these are part of a new bundle. Okay, here, this is the one I actually did in the video with these little leaves that come from this. Oh, now I won't be able to remember. Hang on, I'll tell you the name of the set. The set is called Thoughtful Expressions, okay, but this is from a different set. Now, here's something I want to tell you that I didn't tell you in the video for this. Okay, so the video that I've made for this, I actually went ahead and did this card, and you can see I've put some other paper here in the middle. If I had had the matching paper that goes with this gold note cards and envelopes, or cards and envelopes set, I would have used that here, but I didn't have that, so I used this celebration paper instead, which had some gold on it, which I thought kind of goes. And then when I made this one in the video, I forgot to put anything here. So I really should do that. And I was just thinking about it. Maybe I'll add that right now. Let me grab it. Okay. So this is another celebration paper. I think it's Adorning Hearts from memory. Something like that. I'll double check and correct myself. Okay, so this paper is really, really pretty. It's another celebration freebie with a $90 order. There's some beautiful things coming for celebration this year. I think it's one of the best celebrations we've had in a long time. Not to mention that the joining special is fantastic. All right, you can see the hearts there and there's roses. That's really pretty. Actually, that would have been nice on the inside of my little card. And then on the back we've got like red with white hearts, and then we've got some little hearts here, and on the back of that one we've got like a tartan in pinks and reds. Aren't they nice? So these are another celebration set, and I thought I would use that. I'm just deciding. Okay, let's put this piece here. Now you might notice that the envelopes on the outside is vanilla, but the inside of the card is white. Okay, so I wasn't sure whether I should stick with vanilla. I did use vanilla on the outside here, but I'm thinking here on the inside, and see this flap? This is actually, it's a no measure gift pocket card. You can put anything in here you like. You can put a gift card. You can put, I don't know, movie tickets, cash, whatever you would like. If anyone still uses cash, I don't know if they do. So really, really cool. Okay. In my video, the video I made for this card, we do have a special guest appearance at the end of that video. You can probably guess who it is. He turned up on my desk out of nowhere and suddenly made an appearance. So for anyone who's watching that video, my apologies, but also lucky you, because you get to see Mr. Crumpet make an appearance today. Okay, so I'm deciding what would look good. Maybe I'll use these little roses here because they're very pretty and they kind of go with this, kind of not. But I like the swirly pattern too. I thought the swirly pattern was, yes, when you order, exactly, you go through the store. And if anyone's wondering where the store is to order, if you go to you can do a number of ways. I always put a link to the store in the description below this video after it's live. But you can also go to my blog, which is here, lhiggins.blogspot.com, and there is a shop now button there that also takes you to my store. So they're the ways to order. Okay, they're the best ways. And if you're ordering before the end of this month, you'll get in on the January craft along. If you order in January, you're going to be getting the February craft along. Okay, so all right, so you can see that I've got my envelope stuck here on here. Very, very simple card. And if I wanted to have a piece here, I don't know that this goes especially well, these roses, but I'm just going to, for the sake of the exercise, I'm just going to take you through it. Now, these cards are American measurements, or shall I say imperial measurements, all right? They are made with US letter cardstock, which is not what we have. So that's why if you are going to put a piece here, you'll want to note that this is the American size. So it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so that means this piece here needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. So it will fit onto that piece. And I forgot to do this. Did I say 5 1/4? I think I did. I forgot to do this in the video. I left it blank. That's why it looks like this. So this piece now goes on here. All right, and that would be like an extra flap. If you wanted to, you can see I've sponged ink over here. I could do the same and bring this into line by sponging the ink on some of these perhaps. That would be nice. But let me just quickly glue this in. I think this is the longest craft along we've ever done because we're right on the hour mark right now. So I need to get off here because I know you guys have all got amazing, wonderful things to do with your Thursdays. So we are normally under an hour for craft along. But I did want to explain a few things to you today. All right, so these are the cards. These are the cards we have this month. And this one. There's our 5 cards for this month's craft along. All the details, I'll get rid of the banner, sorry. I'm not very good at remembering to take banners down. Which is your favorite? Does anyone have a favorite card for this one? What do you think? It does show up the foil. I know exactly. This is what Nicole was talking about before too, I think. Most Adored. Thank you, Chris. 12 by 12. That is the correct name. Most Adored paper. Just let me see. Have we got anything else? Wednesday night so you can make pizza dough Thursday. Sounds good to me. I made pizza dough the other day too. We had yummy pizzas. All right. Oh, you like the green roses? These ones? Those? That's what Nari thinks is the best. Leslie likes the lavender. Look, it's my personal favorite too, I think, this one. I love it. Oh, you like the card we just made, Donna? Yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm very happy with it. I think it turned out really lovely. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you like them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say bye-bye here. I'm going to get back. All I've got to do really is to upload the last video and get the PDF in order. So the PDF is with all the measurements. That should be up in the next couple of hours on my blog. Okay, so if anyone is wanting to go to the blog, I'm going to put it up one more time. Okay, you should be able to go and purchase these there. Now, how much is it? It's $15 Australian, which means it's about $10 US to get the tutorials for all of the projects. Okay, so the public tutorial that everyone can watch, there's no charge. Okay, that's part of what I do, and it's a great way to show off all these wonderful projects and how cool they all are. But the other 4 are something that I do as part of my income. So I actually do sell those. If anyone is ordering, you don't need to purchase them because if you place an order, if you placed an order back in November, you're going to get these tutorials for free. So if you received a pack from me, a supply pack, you're also going to get the tutorials. And there we go. I think that's it. How do we do? Is everyone happy? Any other questions or anything before I say bye-bye? Ah, some people like the rose one. That's quite popular. So there you go. You're very welcome, Nicole. So happy. I'm just going to come back onto the screen. If anyone has any questions that you would like to ask me about these or about anything else, if anyone is interested in the glass mat, which is the joining special for January, please reach out. Very happy to answer any questions that you have. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic new year. I do have a video going up tomorrow night for my Friday night video, and I will be back on Sunday night for last Sunday I didn't go live because it was Christmas Eve, but I am going to do a quick live on Sunday night. So I hope you all stay well, stay happy, and see you soon. Bye-bye.